All right, guys, welcome back to Hoops on the Rise. It's been 2 years, COVID, we didn't do anything, no podcast, no basketball game, nothing. And today we have a special guest with us. He was a host before, but we're launching a new series called Life After Ball. And we want to feature all the entrepreneur, business owners, artists, creator, like everything that has to do with an athlete after they finish playing basketball, or even if they're playing basketball right now. We just want to give them like a shout out, you know. Today we have Karim Fall with us, the best intern ever, the MVP, the GOAT, and he's a creator. Like there's so much way that I can describe him, but like I will let him introduce himself. So tell me, who are you?
Well, thank you for that. If I was lighter, I'd be blushing, but I appreciate that. No, yeah, I'm Karim. Some people call me Dream. Choose whichever you want, you know what I mean? I'm just a creator, man. I do photography, I do some videography, some graphic design on the side, you know what I mean? I've been working with my man Russ for a little minute now. Hoops on the Rise. I've been following it for a while, and when I realized I kind of wanted to go in the whole media lane and everything, I was like, yeah, let me hit my man up, you know what I mean? So, and he was kind to bring me on the team. So from there, just kept working on projects. There's a lot of things I could go into, but yeah, just a creative, man.
I feel you're just trying to be humble. Like there's so much stuff that you did and you accomplished that you're just not telling us.
I guess, man. I don't even know where I should I should start, man.
Like he's the founder of DiffMinds, and it's like a up and coming media company that's one of the reasons why I bring him back, because he was an ex-baller and he was filming basketball, and now he has his own thing. Like he's just putting Montreal back on the map, and I feel that it's gonna be bigger than just Montreal. Like just tell me what DiffMinds is.
I mean, that's definitely the goal. I mean, DiffMinds is a media platform that I started with two of my friends, Kyle and Eddie. Shout out to y'all. So about 2 years ago, we started this media platform, and the goal was really just to elevate Montreal and really just showcase the talent in the city. You know what I mean? Like I always felt, since I was a kid, just the people around me, I felt like I always noticed talent, or I always gravitated towards them. You know what I mean? Just being, enamored or curious about what they're doing, or their talents, their skills. So that's kind of been the trend my whole life, just observing that. And after a while, once I kind of jumped in the whole media space and learned that, you can kind of tell your own stories, I'm like, I think I want to showcase these people because they deserve it. You know what I mean? Whether that be in music, in sports, in art, in business, whatever the case may be, kind of like what you're trying to do here. You know what I mean? I think that's the main goal for us, just to showcase the talent, because Montreal has a lot of it. And to me, it's a gold mine, and nobody talks about it. You know what I mean? So I think, a few people are aware, but we just gotta let the world know. So that's kind of the whole mission behind the DiffMinds, man.
Yeah, that's sick. Because the first time I saw it, I was like, wow, like that's like the future complex. Like it's something that like it's where everything started, and like there's no limit of where you can possibly go.
100%.
And so, can we start with where it all started? Because I know where everything started. Like people saw you filming basketball, people saw you write articles, people saw you like film videos, photography, like even like Photoshop Illustrator, like you were doing like crazy graphic. Like if you guys saw like all those like Luke Dort posts, Chris Boucher posts, all those like best stats stuff, like this is the man. Like he's the one. Like I call him like sometimes like at midnight, like Chris Boucher when he dropped like 28 points. Like I call this guy and say, yo Karim, I need a graphic. Like can you get it done? 5 minutes, boom, done, posted, caption ready, everything ready. I was like, damn, this guy is a goat.
Funny enough, I look back at some of those posts and I cringe. I'm like, I could have done so much better on that.
Yeah, don't regret. Just like move forward. You did it. At least you did it. Like so that's the most important. But it was fire. People like it. Like it's just crazy. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. So tell me a little bit about like where it all started.
Like, to me, I mean, it all started pretty much like in CEBL. So I was going into Dawson College, just finished high school. And I think like a lot of teens finishing, high school, they're kind of just trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. So obviously I was hooping in high school and always was around sports, but you kind of quickly realize sometimes, like, yeah, I don't think the NBA is going to be, I don't think the NBA is going to be in my future like that. So you start thinking exactly where you want to go. And the main thing for me going into CEBL, I'm like, I don't, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, but I was like, I don't want to go and know like social science and just go in it for the sake of it, because I don't know what I want to do. Like, let me figure out exactly what my interests are. Let me learn about myself a little more. So literally took a pen and paper, just started writing down interests here and there, and went from basketball, music, sports in general, and you just start listing a bunch of stuff. And I started realizing, like, communication and talking about sports and basketball was probably more of an interest than actually playing for me. Like lunchtime was like the best time for me, debating like, oh, who's better, LeBron or Kobe or whatever. Like, I'd be heated in those more than I'd be heated on the court, you know what I mean? So I kind of spotted that. I'm like, oh, what is that? Is there a career out of that? Can you make something out of it? And that's when I discovered journalism. I was like, well, not discovered, I knew what journalism was, but I was like, okay, maybe it's a path I can go in. So I went to Dawson College because I could get a minor in journalism, but I studied in cinema communications. And even being in that program, that's kind of where I learned a little about cameras and filmmaking and editing here and there, because we had all this stuff with us. So, just from there, started learning and growing an interest, and then, I was thirsty for more, and that's when I hit you up. And I was happy you responded, and you was like, yo, we're looking for some people to help out and intern. And, along with you, I DM'd, I don't know how many people, how many media brands, just to find any opportunity. So you kindly responded. And I was like, yo, let's see what this could be. I just wanted to learn as much as possible. And I was writing at the time, writing articles for a school paper and just here and there. And then we started doing that for you a little bit and Hoops on the Rise. After a while, you're like, dog, we need somebody to film. I'm like, okay, I never really held a camera like that. Maybe like those disposables, like when I was 10 or something. It was like, I'll have the experience, but I guess I'll try it out. And then from there, it just kept growing, and you find all these things that encompass what media is about and what you can do in it, and just went full throttle from there, man. And that's the long story short. That's the best.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more. If we can speak for like 3 hours if we need to. But this, it's a definition of a shooter that shoots. Like, I feel like he was you were like 18 years old, like 17. You see, like that's why he's the GOAT, because at 17 years old, like sending an email to a kid, like if I backtrack myself, when I was like 17, I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna email someone to like get an internship. Like, I'm gonna work, like I worked in a restaurant before, so I'm just like I'm just gonna stay there. Like,
but again, it kind of just went into the whole thing of just like, yo, I don't want to waste my time. Like, I hate school, right? And I've never been good at school. I'm like a straight C student, right? My first high school, I had to leave because I failed math and French, like to go to another high school. Like, it's never been like a thing I was great at. So I'm like, if I have to go to school and go to CEBL and then uni after, like, let me make it worthwhile. So I made it a point to just find actual interest. And even to the point of just hitting up people, like, that all sparked because I somehow got an internship at TSN radio at first when I was at school. One of my teachers, her son or nephew, I can't remember exactly, worked for TSN radio. And he just came to like just talk to our class about the business and everything. And obviously at the end of the program, you have to do an internship. And he's like, oh, if ever you guys need it, just hit me up. And he left his business cards. I'm like, why would I wait until the end? I want to do it now. Can I? Let me just ask, Yeah. At the end of the class, everybody walked by the little business cards. I'm like, no one's going to take advantage of that? I was super hyped. Maybe just because it was TSN and like I always wanted to be on there or whatever. So I just took the card, I sent him an email, and he was like, okay, come over Christmas break for a little 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, okay. All I had to do was ask. And then from there, it clicked. I'm like, I just need to see what I can get out there. So
I remember when you told me about it, like you were so excited. You were like happy. It's like, yo, Russ, I got the internship at TSN. I'm like, I was so happy for you because like for all the effort that you were doing, like every single step that you achieved, like every milestone, like even if it's a brick by brick that you're building up that foundation, like getting an internship at TSN, it was something crazy for you.
And honestly, I had no business being there. Like I was in my first semester, right? I said like I had no business being there, but I was like, I kind of got lucky with it, but I think that unlocked a way for me to actually go for it afterwards. So I always think back to that as like the I won't say necessarily the start, but the push for me to kind of go after everything and just don't be shy to ask questions. That's what journalism is about. You know what I mean? And just by asking questions and being curious, I landed myself in so many different places. And obviously you put the work in as well, but after that you realize you put in the work and some stuff just comes to you afterwards. You don't even have to ask. And so it's been a cool little journey so far. We're not done, but we're getting there.
So tell me a little bit about the transition, like because we obviously know that you were filming basketball, you were filming other stuff. Like, how did you make your transition from shooting sports into doing like outside of sport, like doing photography? Like, because the reason why we're doing this podcast is because we want to showcase people what you can do after playing ball. And like, because I've been talking to a lot of kids, and they keep telling me like, all they want to do is play ball, but they don't have like another passion. They don't have something they want to do. And they ask me like, they always ask me like, why did you start Hoops on the Rise? Whenever I travel with like some team, AAU team, or like I go film like some championship, something, they keep asking me. So the main goal is to tell people that there's so much stuff you can do and so much stuff you can build off of playing a sports. After you finish playing sports, you want to do something else. 100%. So just tell me about that transition.
Yeah, like I said before, going to CEBL and just writing down everything, I think like a lot of hoopers or any athlete at any level, obviously, like you said, the goal is always, I feel like, to make it pro, to make it big. Anybody that gets into sport, I feel like that's the end goal. But what, the 1% makes it, less than 1% makes it actual to actual pro level. So once I realized that, I was like, I need to find ways I can get in this medium, but in different ways rather than just playing. Then you realize like there's a whole corporation and business and people behind these teams and leagues and stuff like that. So, like I realized communication was something I enjoyed doing. Whether I'm good at it or not, I enjoy talking or having conversations with people. I like learning about people. Basketball was just a gateway for me to learn about that. So with Hoops on the Rise, I was like, I think it's not so much the basketball that I love so much about this, it's the storytelling. Like, even as simple as just like a fast break dunk, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that you get to film that clip, capture that moment and share it with people, because if you're not in that gym, you wouldn't have known what happened. So the fact that you're able to capture those moments and just share with people, like that was more fulfilling to me than the actually being at the game. So as much as I like the game, so from there, just realizing that, I was like, I think I want to try my hand at more than just basketball, like there's other stuff that interests me or other dope stuff that people are doing. So that's kind of where DiffMinds came into my mind. I was like, I think I just want to build a little platform where we can tell all stories all across the board. So that's always my MO, just tell a good story, because I think there's so much you can learn from it, learn from people, just from a conversation. And if it's not a conversation, if you know how to use a camera, you can make a dope story that's captivating, whether it be through writing, drawing, whatever. So I just want to be able to tell those stories. So that kind of stemmed from the interest of basketball, but realizing there's a lot more out there than just hoops. So
So that's the crazy part about everything, because like there's so much like OG player that I keep talking to them, like they keep telling me, yo, I wish that you guys existed back then, because people were in the gym, but the camera wasn't there. So like the moment wasn't documented. So like there's crazy posters, there's crazy dunks, like like Montreal is filled with great athletes and like crazy potential people, but just because the camera wasn't there, and like back in like 1990s, like there's like one or two players, three players, like Trevor Williams, Wayne, like
and even for those guys, they probably had to rely on like a scout
exactly.
coming in. And what scout would come to Montreal to check talent? They didn't even know there was talent around here,
Exactly.
right? But now I guess with technology and the fact that we have social media to be able to share those things, like that's what I want to take advantage of, and that's why I like when people are sharing this type of stuff, because it's like, yo, people need to know about this. Like, if we don't tell them, then we're just gonna be stuck here this whole time, you know?
Yeah.
And these people deserve to get a D1 scholarship. They deserve to go pro. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah, we got to tell those stories. You got to let people know about it.
Yeah, but the crazy part is people keep saying Canada's on the rise, but it wasn't on the rise. It was already there. It just nobody was there in order to capture that moment and make sure that people see it.
Exactly.
So that's why like you're here, you know, like DiffMinds, you know, like
you're doing your thing too. You know what I mean?
I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to give back to the community of everything that I wasn't able to get when I was playing. Like even maybe like you're trying to tell the story that for people that deserve. So I feel like every kid who put in the work deserve the exposure. 100%. And same thing as you, like every story that you're trying to document, and just use technology, use every platform that you have, the freedom of speech, in order for us to be able to spread.
And also I'll say this too, like to me it's also like I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing, but we're still here together, chopping it up, and we're still working together here and there. You know what I mean? So it's like the idea of just collaboration and just knowing that there is strength in numbers. And okay, I'm gonna use this pun for my thing, but it's just like, yo, we need to be, if we're different minds, just like combining, like this thing is just bound to blow up. You know what I mean? Like we need people like on the court. You know what I mean? Even you need people in the locker room to be able to tell the story. You need people at home that are writing the story. You need people that are at the concerts. You need people that are at the art galleries. Like there's so many different things going on. We need everybody to be a part of it and kind of tell the whole story. And then from there, we just come together, we collab, and then we'll be good. Like
exactly.
Like especially Montreal. Like sorry to cut you off.
Oh,
but
go ahead.
Like Montreal, like it is what a top 10 biggest city in like North America. We have the structure of like a city like New York or LA or Paris, but it seems like nobody knows about it. You know what I mean? So to me, everything's already here. Like you said, talent's already here. We just gotta let the world know about it. So
exactly.
That,
I feel like there's a lot of opportunity that are missing because of all the opportunity that we don't get. But tell me a little bit about more of what type of story are you trying to tell, or some like give us some sneak peek, something that's coming but like we don't know about it. So just briefly describe what DiffMinds do.
For me, the main thing is, I mean, pretty much similar to what we're doing here. Like, I definitely want to do more interviews. That's always something I wanted to do, so that's something I want to jump into ASAP. It's in the works. So we got some stuff coming. Documentaries as well. I think to me those two mediums are just the purest way to tell a story. Like right here, we're just talking, right? But somebody can be listening to this and catch a little gem, or they're curious about something and then they go look something up, and then from there, who knows where they might end up. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of benefit in just telling real stories. I'm always gravitated towards it. You know, fiction and everything is nice for different occasions. But to me, when it's a real story, when it's pure, that's when you learn the most from it. So the more I can do that, and there's, again, it's hard for me to say exactly how I want to do it because there's so many different ways I want to. Like interviews and documentaries is definitely one of them. But man, like through a picture, you can tell a dope story. Through just some graphics or like little mini series you can do here and there. The options are limitless. Like I want to collab with a lot of different people. Like I find people in the city that like do crazy like oil paintings or whatever. And I'm like, yo, I think there's something there. Like, I don't know, let's exploit that. Let's find a way to tell a story with that medium, or covering events. That's another thing that I want to do as well. Especially this summer, there's a lot of stuff.
Mural Fest,
yeah.
all those festivals, all those art festivals. There's so much stuff happening in Montreal.
There's a lot,
Montreal is like a jam. So many artists.
There's a lot.
We have talented people. We have filmmakers. We have big blockbuster movie are shot in Montreal. Like Transformer was shot here last year. X-Men.
The biggest movies out there, like box office movies, are made here most of the time, and people wouldn't even know about it. You know what I mean? So that's just to point to how Montreal is big, and the structure is here. The stuff that we need, we got it. So
we got the building, we got the talent, we got the artists, we got everything that you need.
And people love coming to Montreal too. I've learned to realize that, especially, like I said, with these festivals coming up, a lot of people are going to be coming from out of town, different countries, to come here. Like, summertime in Montreal is a great time to
Oshiaga.
Oshiaga's happening. You know what I mean? So we got all this stuff here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So it's just crazy that we keep developing new artists, new talent people, and I saw you grow from an intern student to the MVP to the gold. I gotta keep saying that. I gotta keep telling that story. Because I'm just fascinated about how much you grow in terms of a person. Now you have a new shade. I didn't
Well, I never planned on these. These are prescription. I literally got these yesterday. My eyes have just been messed up from looking at the screen.
So plug the name. Where they're from.
I got it from Unity. I want to shout out Megan. She hooked me up. She got me a good discount on these. So shout outs to you, because I wasn't ready to pay that much for these. So respect. But
it looked good. It create a new artist vibe.
Yeah, I might run with it. I'm on my Spike Lee vibes with. I'm gonna try and brand this as much as possible.
Yeah, I saw Spike Lee this past weekend at VCon. He was everything that Spike Lee say. It's he's a genius. He made the whole hip hop culture.
I love Spike.
He inspired me with the Jordans. Every collaboration that he did in the past, creating shoes from a filmmaker. He put the whole black culture, the hip hop culture. Everything
that's what I was gonna say too. The reason I like Spike Lee so much, obviously I knew about him beforehand, but I never really had an interest to dig deep into his story and his work until I kind of got into this in media. But man, this guy is to me he's one of my guys one of my muses that I like to call him. He's just a pure creator, I feel and also just as a black creator, seeing somebody really do it big like that, that's encouraging to me. You know what I mean? And I think that representation and knowing yo, this is our guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he paved the way for a lot of different people. So he's somebody I look up to. I'm I'd love to do some stuff like him. I want my movies to have impact like him. So yeah. Shout out to Spike Lee.
That's crazy. So a lot of people have their own inspiring people, and they're curious to know when a creator creates something, but for sure a lot of stuff has already been done, but we want to know where do you get your inspiration from? Where
do I get inspiration from? Man, everywhere. I think that's just a curious person that I am. Obviously I have my guy. I have such a long list, man. It's crazy. Kobe is one of them. He's somebody I look up to for discipline, for example. Oftentimes when I feel I'm not pushing myself hard enough, I literally ask myself what would Kobe do? I'm okay, let me go do that. You know what I mean? So in certain aspects, I'm okay, let me turn to Kobe. Spike Lee is another one. I'm he's just a pure creator. He tells compelling stories. What can I pick from that? Cole Bennett is a dude that I look at and I really admire his work. So I'm oh, he's a young gun, but really made a whole empire out of his thing and put on for Chicago, his city. So I'm like, oh, I want to do that for Montreal as well. So those are three that I can think of off the top. But there's so many different people. Like Drake is another one of them. Like to me, he's just like a legend icon here, like in Canada. You know what I mean? Like just everything that he's built. I'm like, I would love to have that much impact on people. LeBron is another one. Just being able to be not a dominant basketball player, but to still manage to do so many different things. Like I admire that, being versatile in a lot of different ways, on the court and off the court, you know? So those are people that come to mind, but there's so many different people. Like sometimes I'll meet people at like, I don't know, local pizza shop, and I'm like, I respect their hustle. Sometimes you have a conversation with them, I'm like, oh, I respect why they're doing this. Sometimes just to provide for their family, I'm like, I appreciate that. I wish I could be like that, to just provide for my people, you know what I mean, big or small. So I draw inspiration from a lot of different things, just staying curious, again, asking questions, researching, like Google's there for a reason, you know, so just researching, and then it leads you so many different places, and, you know, that's only beneficial. I won't learn in school as easy, so I might as well just do it in other aspects.
So for example, if I ask you, like, if someone tried to be you, and who would be the 5 people that they need to look up to in order to try to be you?
Oh, shoot. Okay, run that back again?
Like, if someone wanted to inspire from you and try to be, like, learn from you or something like that, who are the 5 people you would tell them to look up?
Wow, okay, that's a great question. That's a great question. Okay, Cole Bennett, I'll put him in that 5. I think he's a great guy to learn from. Like I said, if you look at his earlier work, they're not nearly as crazy as the stuff he's doing now. But he just took his camera and just went out and just filmed, documented, created a story. Like I respect what he was doing, and he's just versatile. He doesn't put himself in a box. So I think just learning from somebody like that, that might help somebody to learn the different aspects that they can touch and reach, because he does such a wide variety of things. You know, he's collabing with Jordan and doing music videos and throwing festivals, and then has clothing brand. Like, he just does a lot. So I respect him and what he does. So Cole Bennett would be one. Trying to see Kobe for sure. I should have said him first. Kobe's just like, he's the definition of just greatness and winning. So you just want to be great at anything, just listen to Kobe. Just watch him play. Actually, funny enough, I was going to say Spike Lee. Spike Lee in relation to Kobe, Spike Lee has a documentary called Kobe Doing Work. And it's literally like Spike Lee recorded the whole game, and it's just Kobe doing voiceover of that game and describing every play. It's a game against the Spurs. And I love that documentary because it's so raw, but when you hear Kobe speak, it's like, damn, this dude just, like, the way his brain is wired, I think anybody should be.
I need to watch that one, because like I keep hearing about that one, but I never saw it. So I wanna watch that one.
And so I say Spike Lee because when I think of that, like, he's just creating, because like it's literally a whole sequence damn near that game. Like, he'll film him on the court going to the bench and then going back. Like, it's not a structured story, but the fact that he just went out and documented it, I think it was just so raw. And I think for any creator, I think that's a good thing to watch. But every work he does is with a pure intention. So I got 3: Cole Bennett, Kobe, Spike Lee. Damn, who else, man? Who would you say? Like, who do you like look to?
There's so many people. Like,
yeah.
you just catch me off guard like that. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm really
like Kobe is one of my top guys, because like everything that he says, it's motivational. But
Gary V.
Yeah.
Gary V is like the king of like practicality, right? And he'll break down something to like the simplest thing, and it's easy for you to understand what he's saying. So when you catch on, you're like, yo, there's no way I can't go out and like do certain things or go after my endeavors or what I want to do. So Gary Vee's definitely one of them.
And last one, the fifth one. Because I don't want to give the answer because it's about you, you know? If I give an answer, it will be biased, you know?
Fifth one. It's funny because I might look back at this and think of a totally different five.
So are you gonna regret it that you
I
chose
won't
this
regret
one?
it. I won't regret it. It's just I have a long list.
Take your time, like think about it.
I'll say. I'll throw in a super wild card, and this is specifically to journalism and media and interviewing.
Okay.
Nardwar. I don't know if you know who Nardwar is.
No, I don't know who that is.
You should.
Okay.
Nardwar.
Okay, I'm gonna look into it.
Nardwar is I don't care what anybody says, he's the greatest interviewer of all time. Okay. Every school presentation I had to do in like journalism class was on Nardwar. I'm like obsessed with this guy. Okay. Because he's a wacky like character. He does a lot of like hip hop interviews. Like any hip hop artist you can think of, he's probably done an interview with them. But he's great at just like finding gems and asking questions that even the artists themselves are surprised that he knows about. Like some people think he legit works for like the FBI or like the cops or whatever. Like his brain and his research, the works he puts in for an interview, I only can wish to reach that level of just like excellence. Like it's weird. You look at him, if you see a picture, you're like, yo, who the hell is this guy? But he is amazing at what he does. So I think for anybody who has a passion in anything, if they can look at Nardwar, they can realize like, yo, I need to put in this much work into what I love, just like he does. So respect, Nardwar is definitely one.
Yeah, I definitely need to look into it,
he's
and
great.
like just to see like who that person is.
He's
and
great.
I might maybe saw his face before.
You've probably seen an interview. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
Like for sure, you've seen a clip of his interview. He's just amazing. So for me, being in media and journalism at first, he was the guy I looked up to. I was like, I want to be like him. Well, not like him exactly because he wears like wacky clothes and crazy hats and colorful. I was like, I won't do that, but like I can learn from this guy 100%. So yeah, Nardwar. He is just the love that he has for his job. I'm like, I want to be like him. So yeah.
So we spoke about your inspiration, who you were in the past. So now we're gonna jump a little bit in the future. Like, tell me, who do you see yourself in the next like 1 to 3 years? Like who's Karim in 2025?
Karim in 2025. Karim in 2025 is still gonna be creating. He's still gonna be making a lot of stuff. I'm trying now my hardest to not set an exact goal, because I realized when you set a goal, which is good, by the way, set goals, that's very important. But I realized once you put so much importance on a certain goal and you finally achieve it, you're happy for that day, you're fulfilled, you go celebrate, you have your fun, and then you're like, yo, what now? It's like, what happens next? It's like if you go through a whole season, the goal is to win the championship, right? It's grueling, you go through training camp, you may have injuries, you're learning to deal with your teammates, all that. You finally get to the finals, you win your championship. Cool, you celebrate, you have fun, and then it's like, what's next, right? So if you put, that almost can be more detrimental and might hit you a little more when you realize, damn, I have nothing else to do or to aspire for. So to me, the goal is always just creating, finding as many different opportunities and having a laundry list of things that I want to do. So 2025, I just hope that, I can be in a space where I checked off most of the stuff, maybe make a little more money and be a little comfortable, a little house, a nice car would be cool, maybe that'll come along. But the main goal is just like creating. Keep the main thing. Just create, and everything is going to come from there. So to me, it's telling stories and just keep going on my personal brand and DiffMinds and collaborations that I'm doing, just making sure we can all elevate, and then from there everything will take care of itself. So I just want to still be happy doing my stuff, and just keep elevating. So
yeah, I feel like you mentioned something really important, because setting a goal, sometimes like as soon as you achieve the goal, you don't have anything to do anymore.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with basketball. People when they play basketball,
Yes.
like they win as far as possible. They achieve everything. They win championship. They did
That's it.
something, and after that, they accomplish, and they have nothing else to rely on. Like let's say if they get injured, they cannot play anymore, or like they just mentally not there anymore
Exactly,
because that's the only thing. They were trained every single day. Wake up at 7 a.m., 5 a.m.
That was their life.
Exactly.
And it's from athletes that I really learned that whole concept, like just learning about those stories. And that's why I use the analogy of the championship. But I've heard so many stars even just talk about like, yeah, I've won MVPs, I'm a multiple time champion, Hall of Famer. But after I retired, I was just at the crib and like I didn't know what to do. And they're still young when they're done, you know what I mean? They still have so much left to do in the world, and they're just kind of stuck. And I'm like, I don't want to be in that position. I feel for them when they say that, because like their whole life was dedicated to one thing, and they did great in that one thing, great. But then what? Like when you're gonna? I think about like when I'm out of here, like am I gonna be satisfied with everything that I've done? So that's why my thing is just like I enjoy telling stories, creating. I just want to be happy. I want to do it for my people, my city, all that.
Yeah.
If those things happen, big or small, I'm good.
Exactly.
I want them to be big, you know, like
you're gonna get there. Like if you keep putting in the work that you've been doing for the past 5 years, I'm pretty sure you're gonna surpass all your surrounding, like everybody at their age. So like I feel that you're capable of doing that, and just like I don't feel like you just need to be able to put in the work and continue.
That's all it is. And I heard someone say this. I always forget who said this actual quote, but they said they chase perfection because they know they'll never reach it.
No, that's some gem. like if you guys have been following the past, like I think 27 episodes of Fall and Rise podcast, this guy was throwing gems every minute. Like it's crazy. Like
Inti had the gems too, though. If y'all know, y'all know.
Yeah, if you guys want to go back and you guys have time, you can go back to watch those past podcasts.
Yeah, I had to throw something in there, you know. But yeah, so when I heard that, I was like, wow, yeah, that's kind of how I want to kind of go about it. Like if because you're never going to be perfect. That's never going to be a thing, but you can always try your best to achieve that. So obviously, like, I don't want to lie to you, like I want to be like big, like I want to be like a legend, icon, whatever, you know, like that'd be cool.
Iconic.
But like I just say that so I set myself the highest goal possible, and then we'll see how close I get. But throughout that whole process, I'm gonna enjoy what I'm doing. My big thing is just the process, the journey.
I just feel that people shouldn't like be too hard on themselves, and be able to just, as long as you're a better person than who you are yesterday, I feel that's like at least that's one step ahead, closer to your goal.
And to me, that's the fun part about all this. Is just like that's the challenge. Every day is a new challenge, a new game. You know. So that's how I look at it.
Before we wrap up the podcast, like if you have one advice to give to the people who's watching this podcast, and what would it be?
That's tough, 'cause I have so much. There's so much I can say, but if I had to say one thing, it would be feed your interests. I'd say that. Feed your interests. I think oftentimes, and we're caught up in what people might think, or how they might judge us for anything that we want to take on. But dude, if you like gardening, just go garden, man. Go cut that grass, man. Like, go do your thing. If you like doing ice sculptures, you want to make a career out of that, go do it. Because you can. Like, in this day and age, like, you can make a career out of anything. So to me, knowing you have that freedom to do your thing, I just feed into that as much as possible. And also, you never just have one interest. I'm sure you like pizza and burgers. You know what I mean? So like, there's multiple interests that you can feed into, and I think the more you tackle those, the more fulfilled and happy you'll be. And to me, that's the ultimate goal for anybody, rich, poor, wherever you're from. The goal is to be happy.
Yeah.
right? So if you can feed your interests and feed your happiness, I think you'll live a good life, regardless of all the other extra stuff that you see out, cars, money, girls, whatever. Like, that'll come along. They come and go. It's not that important. But you, at the end of the day, you got to live with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, we're all here together, you know what I mean? But you're going to go home to yourself and be by yourself, you know? So you got to be able to go to sleep and be content with you. You spend the most time with anybody, you spend more time with yourself than anybody else. So make sure that that's intact, feed your interests, and just stay happy. Man. Be that the goal.
I feel like if you do something that you're happy about, like, I feel the money will come. Like, everything will build up to it. Like in 2022, there's nothing that, there's nothing that you would want to do that wouldn't be able to pay the bills, because like if you love it so much, you'll be able to get paid for your work.
Anything. The most niche thing you can think about, you can make a great living off of it if you just put in the work.
It's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. There's so much money out there.
So
man.
One last question. I know, like, it's about you and about basketball. So who's your top 3 GOAT?
Oh, GOATs all time?
All time.
Shoot. Okay. MJ1.
Okay.
I'll put MJ1 because I don't think you can ever discredit a guy that never lost in the final.
True.
And I think even people try to slide him down, but to me, like, he's just an iconic figure. Somebody that big, and he's so far removed from playing, and he's still revered as like a great. Like, you can't discredit that. So to me, MJ's one. The stats back it up. He's won everything. He's done everything. MJ's one. I'll put Bron 2.
Come on.
I'll put Bron 2 because he's the difference with him and MJ. Like, MJ had the highest peak of like all time, but LeBron has been great for the longest period of time. That's how I look at it.
True.
He's been great for so long and there's nothing he can't do. He's the most versatile player like ever. So to me, I have to put LeBron 2, and again, like, his stats back it up as well. Like, next season he might be the all-time leading scorer, and he's gonna be top 10 in scoring, rebounds, assists by the end of his career and stuff. Like, he has all the trophies, everything. You gotta give it to him. And to me, 3, and I get kind of mad when people don't put him 3, and some people even leave him out of top 5. But Kobe's 3 to me. To me, it's MJ, LeBron, and Kobe. To me, those 3 guys are like they just dominated a whole generation by themselves. So to me, you have to give him that. Everybody else can.
I never heard someone who wouldn't put Kobe in the top 3.
No, I've seen people leave Kobe out of the top 10.
Oh my God.
And wonder if he should even be in the top 10 because he may have been a ball hog, or he only has one MVP. Like, they try to throw like stuff out there, but I'm like, yo, the killer that he is, there was nobody like that.
The mentality, how he studied the game, how he can call the play that he already know what you're gonna do before you do it.
Yeah.
Like that's the craziest like, part about it.
Kobe is just mastered. Like, you can argue who's the most like skillful player, but to me, I put Kobe 1. Like, skill. Yeah. Like, his skills are just impeccable. He can do everything. He has a counter for every situation. Kobe, you got to give it to him. And to me, also, him being the closest thing to MJ, like, they're damn near clones. Like, if somebody's as good as MJ, who's the GOAT for most, how do you slide him that far down? Like, he's the closest thing to the best thing ever. So to me, he got to be at the top. So MJ 1, Bron 2, Kobe 3.
Perfect.
I hate it if y'all want, man. That's the correct order to me.
I think that sum up our podcast, our episode 1 of Life After Ball.
And
the first one. Like I made sure that you're the first one to do it. Like that's my only way to thank you for everything that you've been part of Hoops on the Rise, and like all the hard work you've been putting in. And I feel that's a way for me to just saying thank you and just there's a journey ahead of you, you know?
Appreciate that.
So if you want to follow him, find everything that he does, it's all in the caption below. I will make sure that everything, it's there for you to find this guy.
Sweet.
And if you're looking to hire MVP, a GOAT, here he is. But I don't know, like...
I'm here to work. Man. I just want to create stuff, like I said, man. Anybody down to work, I'm cool with it, man.
Perfect.
So, yeah, man.
All right. Thank you for watching. And we're going to invite the next guest, and we're going to go from there.
There you go.
Thank you.